Brady, what was it like third quarter last week? You guys only got 4 plays on offense. What's that like as a player?
Yeah, obviously not good enough. We got to sustain drives. We got to stay in the field again. Talked about it before, executing the play that's called. And we just unfortunately didn't do enough of that in the second half last week. So obviously that was, I think, a focus point this week is that we do need to be better. We got to be better on first down. Obviously we came out the gate flying. I would say last week we played, I would say, what has been our best half this year. But how do we put 2 halves together and play an entire 60 minutes?
Did you see that first half coming? Like, was there indication that, well, actually, we feel really good about what's going to happen here?
Yeah, I think we felt it in the first drive. I think guys just felt really confident. They felt good. Again, I said every week it's going to start with the guys up front. And I think for the last number of weeks, this entire season, but I think the last number of weeks, we're setting the tone physically, I think, in the run game. And I think that usually good things happen as the game goes on. Unfortunately, we just didn't get enough of those opportunities in the second half. But again, it's how are we going to play complementary football and offensively, take that first half into the second half and play an entire 60 minutes, not just one half.
How will you do that?
Yeah, again, I've talked about executing the play that's called, but I think another layer on top of that is just communicating, like making sure everyone's on the same page. There's a lot in our offense, multiple plays in one. There's lots of funky things that we do. So I think everyone being on the same page and communicating, I think that will allow us to execute those plays at a high level. And then at the end of the day, just stay in the field and when your opportunity comes, just win. We're not going to be perfect. We're all humans. We're going to make mistakes, but try and be your best every single play because that's what your team is expected to be.
Well, the focus is on you guys, but what's it like to have the league leaders rolling into town, and are there some benefits to that?
Yeah, I love it. You want to play against the best every single week. Me individually, I always talk about going up, the best defensive players every single week. That excites me, and I think as a whole now for a team, you got Montreal coming in. They're hot right now, rightfully so. They're playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger, and they're the team to beat right now. They've shown that. So I think for us, I think momentum is a real thing. I think if we go out there and execute our game plan, I think we can definitely bring that into the following week, and I think that will definitely hopefully propel our season into a positive. So I think it's great. I think we got a great opportunity ahead of us. Obviously, an extremely tough test, but we just got to focus on us right now and get our job done, focus on one play at a time. And there's going to be ups and downs throughout the game, ebbs and flows, and just try and move on to the next and just understand that you got your brother next to you, and we're going to go out there and execute at a high level.
Through all your ups and downs through 10 games, what are your top reasons to really believe in this team?
Well, I think it's simple, just the guys that we have in the locker room. I get to see the work that they put in on a daily basis, the daily habits, the process that not everyone gets to see. I get to witness that with my own eyes. So that's what I appreciate most about this group is that when our back's against the wall, they just continue to show up and have my back, have everyone's back in here in the building, and knowing that we need to be better. So yeah, to answer your question, I see there's so much belief in the locker room still, and the guys are showing up every single day, whether it's good or bad, win or loss. They're still showing up, knowing that there's ways to improve and how can we be better for our teammates.
You're human though too, and for every positive angel on one shoulder, there's maybe a devil of doubt on the other shoulder. What things do you have to shut out, like that guy saying? The doubt and something.
Yeah, there's always going to be good and bad, but I think there's always going to be outside noise, and I think it's very easy to see it and look into it in today's day and age. Also with the day of social media, everything that's out there, it's very easy to see the naysayers, the non-believers, what they think about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this year. But I think right now we just got to really, just have faith and believe in ourselves again. We know the type of guys we have in this locker room, the coaches that we got in this building, and we just got to believe and, again, execute. So, yeah, we have to believe. I know you talk about the angel and the devil, and just really try to hear what the angel's saying and forget about that devil on your shoulder.
Pretty crowded in the West here. How do you describe the West Division playoff race?
There's a lot of good football teams in the West. I think it's going to come down to the wire. It's extremely competitive every year. I think you saw it last year as well with us crossing over to the East. But, you look how it's kind of shaking out right now. Again, we got to handle our business and focus on every week, but you got some teams getting hot right now. Obviously, BC is, getting some good games under their belt and getting the wins. And, Calgary's a tough team this year. And we all know about, Sask and Edmonton right now, obviously. So, it's going to be tough. But again, we really just got to focus on ourselves, because I really do think that, we have the key to this thing. If we just focus on our business, handle our business, and put out good performances like we know we're capable of doing, I think the rest takes care of itself.